Hello and welcome to the 2020 Deakin University Virtual Open Day. Before we begin today's session, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which our Deakin University campuses reside. The Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, on whose land our Geelong campuses are located, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, on whose land our Burwood campus is located, and the Gunditjmara people, on whose land our Warrnambool campus is located. My name is Campbell. I'm a senior lecturer in financial planning as part of the Deakin Business School, and this course overview session is focusing on financial planning within the Bachelor of Commerce for entrants looking to enroll in 2021. So financial planning and financial advice sits within the broader financial services sector. So to give you a bit of a context, financial services is one of the largest, if not the largest sector of the Australian economy, accounting for around 9% of gross domestic product annually. Because of its scale and because of its size, this also means that the financial services sector is probably the leading employer in Australia, employing over 400,000 people and approximately 4% of the overall workforce. What this also means is it's also a large employer of university graduates, currently ranked around 5th highest in Australia. And other than financial advice and financial planning, employment opportunities within the financial services sector include work for institutions such as superannuation funds, funds management, retail banking, as well as also obviously retail advice and financial planning roles. So I guess the big question is, and the question that brings you here today is, why be a financial planner? I think the thing that I really want to highlight out of this session is that there is a bit of a misconception in the general public about the role that a financial advice plays in people's lives. And I think a lot of people have the perception that financial advice and financial planning is predominantly about investment management and perhaps helping people save for retirement. Now, this is obviously true, and this is a big part of the role that financial advisors play in the lives of families throughout Australia, but it's much, much more than that. Really, investment management is only a small part of what we do on a daily basis. So when you're thinking about a future career in financial advice, look beyond the possibilities of investment management only and the day-to-day realities of what that job might entail. So what I'm suggesting is that financial advice is a job which combines a love of working with people, a competitive drive, self-discipline, and of course, a love of numbers. What you'll find in terms of your day-to-day role is really spending a lot of time working with individuals, working with families, working with people who want to become more financially secure and ultimately lead the lifestyle that they desire. So as a financial planner, you spend a large amount of time getting to know your clients at a deeper, more personal level, building long-term trusting relationships. So really from the outset, and when you first meet your clients, you're really stepping into their lives as you begin to help them understand their goals and help them achieve their dreams. So what types of skills are important for a career in financial advice? Now, certainly technical knowledge is supreme, and technical knowledge is going to be paramount in any professional services type role that you might be considering. Now, our courses at Deakin obviously have lots of technical components, enable you to get used to, familiar with the type of knowledge that you need to know to be an expert in your domain. But really, technical knowledge is only just the beginning. Equally important to be successful in a career in financial advice are interpersonal skills and being able to work with people. It really is a service-oriented role, and something that we want to encourage prospective students to consider is the relationship building aspects of financial advice and your ability to really help individuals in their day-to-day lives to accomplish their future goals. So you need to have strength in both the, I guess, the core technical type knowledge areas and, you know, a good understanding of numbers. And obviously while math and things like that are important, they're not vital, provided you can understand how the different bits and pieces fit together in terms of the different requirements and opportunities to help people prepare for their futures. But predominantly it is a role about working with people to help them achieve their goals. Opportunities in financial planning. Now, financial planning is really a growth area at the moment. And that's another thing that I wanted you to consider. Obviously, when we think about, you know, prospective courses and what you might study if you venture off to university, a big part of that is ultimately securing employment at the end of it. And we are quite confident in saying that the career opportunities in financial planning are growing. And from our experience, we find that a lot of our students already have part-time work, if not full-time opportunities, halfway through, 3/4 the way through their degree. And by the end of their courses, I think we have a very, very high employment rate for all of our qualified financial planning students. So this is driven by a couple of factors at the moment. One is that we recently had new education standards introduced, requiring that all financial advisors require a degree minimum as an education standard. So whilst previously there were a range of different pathways to becoming a financial advisor, as of the beginning of 2019, for new entrants, a accredited degree in financial planning is the minimum requirement. So that means you can't go off and do a degree in accounting or economics or finance, for example. You would actually need to do a specified accredited degree in financial planning, such as that offered by Deakin. We're also seeing continued growth and opportunities in the field of superannuation. So we know that superannuation is a compulsory retirement savings vehicle. And because it's compulsory, it means that the funds under management within Australia are growing year on year. And I'm not sure what we're up to at the moment, but I believe it's somewhere around $2.7, $2.8 trillion under management within the superannuation sector in Australia. And that's growing every year. So there's lots of opportunities within superannuation, both in terms of the funds management side of things, but obviously also in helping individuals accumulate wealth for their own retirement needs. A third opportunity I wanted to highlight, and this is something that we're quite putting quite an emphasis on at Deakin, is opportunities for increasing representation by females in the financial planning profession. So whilst there are some fantastic examples of role models and leaders within the field, we're also cognizant that there is still an overrepresentation of males. And it's traditionally a largely male occupation. What that means now is there's a lot more opportunities for women to get involved in the financial advice space and following the steps of some of those leaders that we've seen. So there is a particularly large demand for female financial planning graduates at the moment that we've noticed. In terms of overall drivers and factors that I think are never going to change is within the financial services sector and within the wealth of Australians, we're seeing that there is increasing wealth that needs management. A big part of that we're also seeing at the moment is the intergenerational transfer of wealth. So the baby boomers and the likes are looking at their estate planning needs and passing their savings on to the next generation. And this is a particular area where we're seeing a lot of demand for advice, which is going to create more job opportunities in the future for people that want to perhaps specialize in that area. Beyond some of the more niche areas such as that, we also have an overall level of low financial literacy in Australia, coupled with the fact that people are time poor and many of our financial systems and products are quite complex. And I think superannuation is a fantastic example of that, in that superannuation is not particularly well understood by the general public. And for that reason, there are opportunities there that many people aren't aware of. And this is where financial advice can really add value and help people build wealth over time in order to have a more comfortable life in retirement. So why choose Deakin? And I think this is another question that many of you would obviously be considering. First and foremost, we mentioned earlier the minimum education requirements, the degree minimum. So all of our courses, both at the undergraduate and postgraduate level, have full FASEA accreditation. So FASEA is the new Financial Advisor Standards and Ethics Authority. Not only are Deakin's current courses accredited, but we have one of the longest history of accredited courses in Australia. So this is an area that we've been working in for a long time. We're not new to financial advice, and we are probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest, provider in Australia. Our courses also have really strong ties with practice, and that's something that we're quite important to us, I guess, is that ensuring that all of our courses are informed by practice. So we have strong ties with practitioners and local businesses, but obviously also with the professional financial planning bodies, such as the Association of Financial Advisors and the Financial Planning Association of Australia. Now, these strong ties have a lot of benefits, one of which, of course, is networking and professional development events. So whether these events are run by the associations or run by Deakin, we work closely with the professional associations and our local businesses in order to provide students with opportunities to network and build their skills outside of the classroom. Another thing that we're big on is ensuring that our staff are appropriately qualified. And by that, I mean the majority of our staff have experience in financial advice or financial services roles. Rather than just focusing on content for the sake of content or learning the materials from a text, we're really keen on delivering relevant and applied knowledge that comes from a place of practical experience. And that then flows into the practical nature of our units. A lot of the assessment tasks are designed to mimic the type of activities that you'll be required to complete in the workplace. Now, whether they be of a technical or regulatory nature, or providing advice documents to prospective clients, or practicing skills such as interview skills, conflict management, or helping your clients overcome some of the behavioral barriers of implementing your financial advice. We're also quite focused on ensuring that we embed industry software into our assessment tasks and into our courses. So there's a range of software practices, software packages that are commonly used in the advice industry. And we use many of those examples within our courses, both from a demonstration point of view and also encouraging students to use those software packages to complete their assessment tasks. Building on what we mentioned earlier about the strong ties with industry, this also comes with a number of other benefits for our students. One is work integrated learning opportunities. So work integrated learning is one of the ways in which you can go out into the field and get some practical work experience with one of our local businesses, whilst also earning credit towards your degree. We also have a number of guest speakers, whether they be lecturers or just coming in from time to time to do guest presentations. All of which come from local businesses and local practices with, often tens, if not 20 years experience in a financial advice role. So again, bringing the industry into the classroom to help you give you more of an applied and contextualized learning beyond just the textbook and the learning materials. We're also very fortunate that our industry connections provide us with scholarships and prizes to help fund your studies. And of course, lots of opportunities in terms of graduate jobs and roles for once you have completed your position. In terms of other opportunities studying with Deakin, one of the things that we like to emphasize is a broader, more rounded education. And this is something that I know a lot of students take advantage of and really enjoy. So there's lots of opportunities to travel as part of your studies, whilst also, again, earning credit towards your degree. So this can be done through volunteering opportunities, internships, consultancy experiences. We also have a lot of industry-based learning and international study tours, as well as opportunities to study abroad and go and study with one of our partner universities for 6 or 12 months, again, whilst earning credit towards your Deakin degree. So there's many opportunities and experiences which are out there, and I encourage you to look into in more detail and think about how that might fit into your individual study plan should you join Deakin. Other reasons, and I think this is quite an important one right now, and the fact that we're staging a virtual open day really speaks to this, is that Deakin has a long history of remote learning. We've been doing remote learning and distance education for 40 years, and obviously that now has merged into an online learning, and it's something that we are quite progressive in, I think, and recent experience with respect to COVID and the likes has really brought that to the fore for many of the Deakin staff. So all of our courses are available in online study mode, and you have the choice of studying on campus when able or studying fully online. And as a result, we have a range of student-focused online tools which are available to you. One is DeakinSync, which enables you to connect, consult, and study with your lecturers and also fellow students using our online platforms, as well as 24/7 access to IT and professional support. The online services obviously also extend to our library, and we have a range of resources such as ebooks, which are available to loan online, but we also have the option to have physical books delivered to you for free. Part of the online system and our online learning management system means that you really can study anytime, anywhere. And this is something that a lot of our students do take advantage of. And we have students positioned all around Australia and indeed all around the world studying online with us on a day-to-day basis. What this also means is that we provide a lot of our students with any software you might need as part of being a student with Deakin. We have a range of software packages which are available to you at no cost, which you can install or download onto your personal computer using a Deakin institutional license using your student credentials. So the online learning is something that, you know, I think is obviously quite important given the situation we find ourselves in now, and something that Deakin does have a strong history in. And I know financial planning in particular is one area that we've really focused on in recent years. So the Deakin financial planning team has actually recently gone through an overhaul of our online courses such that they really are designed for an enhanced online learning experience. And obviously all of this was done in advance of the recent lockdowns and shutdowns that we've been experiencing. But what that has meant for particularly the financial planning team is that our transition to fully online study has really been seamless. And the feedback that we've got from our students thus far has been quite positive of the experience. So hopefully this is something that's not going to be a requirement moving forwards, but it certainly hasn't impeded any of our students so far. So this is an example of DeakinSync, the online learning portal, to give you an idea of all of the resources which are available to you from a single central platform. So we have obviously your Deakin email, which you can access, as well as links to the library and other resources for finding read-ins or chatting with a librarian. In this section here, you'll have access to all of your unit sites. So every unit that you're enrolled in will have an individual unit site, which has access to all of the learning materials, assessment tasks, discussion forums, class recordings, and anything else you might need. Now, these resources are available whether you're an online student or a campus located student. So whilst we have the premium online experience, this is also available to all of our campus located students as well, which gives them additional flexibility and resources to help them manage their own study programs. We also have links to study support resources, student mentors, IT help and more, all within this single platform, as well as links to university news, special events and activities, as well as some of those industry focused activities that I mentioned earlier. Other student services that are available, and look, there's really a lot out there, and I think it's something that many students really are not aware of all of the resources and services that are available to them. And unfortunately, only a small percentage of students take advantage of the wealth of opportunities that are there. And I'm talking about things like student clubs and societies, graduate recruitment services, and mentor programs, for example, where you can learn from other current or past students and help you get into university life. We have the Student Hub with a range of different resources, mentoring and training on academic skills. Deakin Talent is our graduate recruitment platform where we have a lot of employers advertising positions through Deakin Talent, specifically wanting to employ Deakin students. So that's an in-house platform, as well as things like the medical centre and counselling for those that might need those services, all embedded within the university and offered to our students at no additional cost. So there are a lot of resources to help you through your transition to university life, should you need them, as well as obviously some more social and networking opportunities as well, to really make sure that you're really living that experience. So in terms of the overall course structure and entry requirements, and this is, as I said, focusing on the major in financial planning as part of the Bachelor of Commerce. So next year's clearly in ATAR for Burwood is 80, and our Geelong Waterfront campus is nominated to be 70, and our Cloud campus a touch over 71, and are at around 63 in Warrnambool. For non-school leavers, there are some requirements there of a senior secondary certificate of education, with an ATAR and prerequisites as well, and some requirements around your scores in English. In terms of applications, applications for trimester 1, 2021 can be made to VTAC. VTAC course applications are obviously made online. For non-school leavers, we also have a range of pathways, and I won't go through all of these in details, but suffice to say, there really is a pathway for everyone. be this through a combination of prior studies at the certificate or diploma level, completion of relevant studies at Deakin University as part of another course, or other evidence of academic capability judged to be equivalent. So we get these applications from time to time, and I personally review some of these applications, and we look at your broader overall life experiences and work experiences to determine whether or not this course is a good fit for you. And generally, as I say, there is a pathway for pretty much everyone who wants to join Deakin and study financial planning. So for non-school leavers to apply, go directly to the applicantportal.deakin.edu.a website, and applications are open. Again, alternate pathways. There's a range of different ways you can join financial planning and the Bachelor of Commerce. So we have examples of individuals who've transferred from other Deakin-related courses. So they might have been studying something else, either within the business school or with another faculty, and decide to change courses. So that is certainly an option for you. Qualifications from a Deakin partner or from other TAFEs and RTOs. We have transition pathways as well, where you can potentially get credit towards the first year of the Bachelor of Commerce, depending on your prior studies. And another option, which some people take advantage of, is of course transferring from different campuses. So you might find that enrolling at one of our coastal campuses for your first year or two is a good option for you before transferring to Melbourne. But increasingly, I'm seeing the opposite as well. I'm seeing some of our Burwood students choose to transfer their courses to other campuses as well. So there's many different ways in which you can navigate the path to a Bachelor of Commerce and a financial planning major with Deakin. So what does the course look like? Now, obviously this sits within the Bachelor of Commerce. Now the Bachelor of Commerce has what we call a common first year. So we have trimesters at Deakin, and the bulk of the studies are done in trimester 1 and 2, with trimester 3 being over the summer period, where you can undertake additional studies if you choose, but the majority of our students tend to focus on the first 2 trimesters in the main calendar year. So in your first year, you've got 8 compulsory units there that you'll typically go through and complete, and then you usually commence your chosen major in year 2. So in year 2, trimester 1, you'll be undertaking the introductory financial planning unit, which is really a sampler of all of the different areas that you will later move on to specialize in. Trimester 2, you have my unit, client behavior and decision making, which is the behavioral side of financial advice, as well as ethics for financial services. And then in third year, you'll move on to some of those more technical and regulatory related units, such as superannuation, in equities and investment analysis, income tax law, and then in your final trimester, estate planning and insurance, and an advanced financial planning capstone unit, which is designed to bring in knowledge from all of those units and prepare a capstone assessment task, similar to the type of work that you'd be required to complete in practice in terms of a comprehensive statement of advice for your clients. So the learning is scaffolded in that, we start you off with the introductory concepts, and then each unit is designed to build on the knowledge of the previous subjects, and ultimately culminating in that final advanced capstone subject. So another thing you might be thinking is, well, why choose Deakin? And a valid question. I know this time of year can be quite busy, and you might be considering other universities as well. So we have the general factors, including worldwide rankings and the type of things that we like to discuss. So Deakin University is among the top 1% of universities worldwide, and the Deakin Business School, in which the Bachelor of Commerce sits, is ranked in the top 1% of business schools globally, holding both AACSB and EQUIS accreditations. We're quite a young university, and we're ranked in the top 50 of young universities worldwide. And our facilities are rated as 5-star world-class facilities, teaching and above world-star research. All of that's well and good. Personally, I think that the most important one for you is that one in the bottom corner. I'd like to see that lifted a little bit higher up in my slides. Deakin University is the #1 university for student satisfaction in Victoria for 8 consecutive years. Deakin University students are happy. They generally enjoy their experience and feel they get good value out of their experience. And perhaps most importantly, employers love our students as well. So we quite often get excellent feedback from our employers about the quality of Deakin graduates and how ready they are to start a career in their chosen field. So that's something I think you should really be considering when you're looking at your different options, is what's in it for you, both in terms of the quality of the learning experience and the employment outcomes when you're done. Don't forget, immediately following this session, we have the live Q&A where some of my colleagues and a past student will be there to help with any of your individual questions that you might have. But thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope the rest of your virtual university open day experience goes well. Thank you.